Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Muttama Shloke Bhaktirabhavati Naishtaki. Randraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. So we're reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 3rd canto, 26th chapter, titled as the Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. Text number 20. Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devahuti about the process of creation. As explained in the previous shlokas, the whole creation is under the direction of Lord Krishna, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti. So, Lord, first of all, for creation of this material world, Lord creates 24 elements. And we learned about these 24 elements. These 24 elements includes Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, water, air, fire, ether, 5 Gnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, then 5 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, false ego, ahankar, chittam, consciousness. All these 24 elements, they in their inactive state, they are called as Prakriti. Sorry, they are in their inactive state, they are called Pradhan. Pradhan is the main element. So 24 elements are called Pradhan. And then these 24 elements, under the direction of time, under the control of time, these 24 elements, they are mixed together. And that mixing of these 24 elements under the influence of time is called as Prakriti. Now, this Prakriti has 3 modes of nature also, Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, Tamo Guna. So, Pradhan is the 24 elements without 3 gunas, which are like in an inactive state. Then this Pradhana or 24 elements with 3 gunas becomes Prakriti. And now further what happens to Prakriti is mentioned here. What is the next stage of transformation? The next stage of transformation is the formation of the creation or the whole cosmic creation. So that process is explained in the shloka further by Kapila Dev to Mata Devahuti through this process of Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is to understand how the creation it happens, So in this shloka, Kapila Dev is saying to Mata Devahuti, Vishwam Atmagatam Vyanjan Kutastho Jagatankura Swateja Sapita Pibata Tivram Atma Prashapanam Tamaha. Vishwam Atmagatam Vyanjan. So now this Vishma Atmagatam. So the whole material manifestation has to be manifested. The material creation has to be manifested. Kutastha Jagatankura. That manifestation, it comes through the root of all manifestation, which is Jagatankura, which is Lord Krishna himself. And through the effulgence of Lord, Swa Tejasa Apibat Tivram Atma Prasapanam Tamaha. So the material creation and dissolution, it happens all the time. The material world is created and then destroyed. Apibat means swallowed. So material world is always, it happens, like, sunset and sunrise. Sunset happens and sunrise happens. Sunset happens. Similarly, the material world, the creation and annihilation is constant process. And this is all happening through Atma Prasavapanam. There is an element which is called as mahat-tattva. And this mahat-tattva is nothing but the Prakriti in its manifested form, in a proper first manifestation of that Prakriti is mahat-tattva. And that mahat-tattva is coming from Lord Krishna himself, which is eternal. So this mahat-tattva is the core, is the reason for recreation and dissolution, right? So that is explained here in this shloka. So translation is, thus after manifesting variegatedness means there is lot of different variety of creation. So all this variety of creation, the effulgent mahat-tattva, this mahat-tattva is the source of this whole creation of the elements, which is the Prakriti further manifesting into mahat-tattva, and then whole everything is created from mahat-tattva. So this mahat-tattva contains all the universes within itself. This is the mahat-tattva is like a big cloud underneath which all the universes exist. And this mahat-tattva is the root of all cosmic manifestations, which is coming from Krishna himself. Now this mahat-tattva is the part and parcel, is the creation, is the energy of Krishna. So as Krishna is eternal, this mahat-tattva is also eternal. It is not destroyed at the time of annihilation. Mahat-tattva always remains. The variegatedness disappears, but this mahat-tattva will always remain, which is not destroyed at the time of annihilation. It swallows the darkness that covered the effulgence at the time of dissolution. And then, when the dissolution happens, there is darkness. But then, from mahat-tattva, again the whole creation happens. So mahat-tattva is always there, right? So as I said, there are three elements we have to understand: Pradhana, Prakriti, and mahat-tattva. Pradhan is the 24 elements in his inactive state. Then they are activated by Lord through three gunas, that becomes Prakriti. And the first manifestation of this Prakriti is mahat-tattva. Okay, and then under the mahat-tattva are all the universes. But the mahat-tattva is eternal, Prakriti is eternal, and Pradhan is also eternal, because all these are coming from Krishna himself. So Prabhupada is explaining here, since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is ever existing, all blissful and full of knowledge, his different energies are also ever existing in a dormant stage. So the Pradhan, Prakriti, mahat-tattva, all these are eternal because Krishna is eternal. Thus, when mahat-tattva was created, it manifested the material ego and swallowed up the darkness which covered the cosmic manifestation at the time of dissolution. So when the dissolution happens, the whole universe become dark. But then the mahat-tattva still exists. This idea can be further explained. A person at the night remains inactive, covered by the darkness of night. But when he is awakened in the morning, the covering of night or the forgetfulness of the sleeping state disappears. Right? So mahat-tattva, at the time of dissolution, the mahat-tattva exists, but then there is a darkness. And when the creation starts, the darkness goes away. As like when we go to sleep, we have some forgetfulness, and then in the day we remember everything. Nighttime, everybody forgets who they are. They are in a different world. But then in the morning, they remember, oh, I am so and so, like that. Similarly, when mahat-tattva appears, after the night of dissolution, the effulgence is manifested to exhibit its variegatedness of this material world. So, just to summarize, I'm going to explain you this shloka with Pradhana. Pradhan is the unmanifested material energy. Okay. The Pradhan is the primordial. It is the most subtle and unmanifested form of matter. And this is composed of 24 elements. Okay, this is Pradhan. And this is inactive state. And Pradhan is just like a raw material for the creation. Then there is a Prakriti. Prakriti is just like an activated state of Pradhana. 24 elements, when they are activated, they become Pradhana. There are gunas also, three modes of nature: Sattva guna, Raja guna, and Tama guna. So that is there. And this Prakriti, which is the activated mode of Pradhan, it serves as a field for activities of living entities who are bound by the karmas. And then the mahat-tattva, the first manifestation. So mahat-tattva is the first tangible manifestation of Prakriti. Okay, and then there is an analogy here. So there is a relationship between Pradhan, Prakriti and mahat-tattva. Pradhan is the unmanifested root, Prakriti is activated energy, and mahat-tattva as first creation. And you can understand this by example is by the clay. So Pradhan is just like an unshaped raw clay. When you take a clay, that is called just Pradhan. Then you add some water into it, in the clay. So now, and then mix it together. So the same clay is now in a dynamic state so that it's ready for the molding. And then that is Prakriti. So just raw clay is Pradhan. Adding the water, mixing it, making it into the dough type of formation so that it is ready for molding, that is Prakriti. And then when you first shape you give to that is called mahat-tattva. The first shape of the pot from the clay. So it's the initial product that forms the base for the final creation to emerge. Okay, so thus Pradhan is a dormant, Prakriti is active, and mahat-tattva is the first manifestation of creation. So that is what is explained by Kapila Dev here in Sankhya Yoga. So with that, we will pause here and we will continue the understanding of this process of creation further. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.